everybody, it's 3 p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And today, part 2 of our copycat Starbucks pumpkin scones, everybody's favorite pumpkin scones this time of year. And also just reminding you, so many of you have asked me how to get in touch with me for my cooking confidence coaching class, and you can touch the link I don't even know what you call it. Touch the link in the description of today's episode, and there is a calendar link. It's a free 30-minute fact-finding discovery call with me. If you wish to book a call, I'd love to see you. So we're going to get right on with the discussion about these scones, these fabulous pumpkin scones. Hey, Susie, if you joined us yesterday, you saw that we made the dough, and we kneaded the dough. We put it all together. We were using this amazing pumpkin puree that we made homemade last week by roasting pie pumpkins, scooping it out. Hey, Lene. And so today we are going to show the finished product. So I just took these. Hey, Frank Sully's here. Hey, everybody. We just took these fabulous scones right out of the oven. Here they are. The house smells amazing. Everybody's been coming downstairs saying, oh my God, they're sliding around here. Let me tip you over here so that you can see how beautiful, and they rose really, really nicely. Aren't those beautiful? So we are going to just take these right now, and we're going to start with making our glaze. So what's really cool about the glaze for these pumpkin scones is that there's 2 glazes. There's just one white glaze that we're going to put just right over the top. I'm not even sure how we're going to put it on. I wonder if it actually says in this. I posted this recipe in the group yesterday. Let's see. Cool for 10 minutes and spoon the glaze on each scone before drizzling. So we're going to spoon it over. It looks like it needs like a pastry brush to kind of smooth it out. So I think I'll grab, just in case, this pastry brush to see how we can make it even out. So on this, the white glaze, not the spice glaze, but the white glaze, we're going to take 2 tablespoons of milk. And we are just going to gradually pour it right here into the powdered sugar. So there's 1 cup powdered sugar in this bowl. These are my little Sur La Table liquid measuring cups. These are 2 tablespoons, which makes it very easy. Now, if you would be surprised at how far 2 tablespoons actually go in a cup of powdered sugar, but it really goes a long way. It starts to clump. But as you pour it in, you just want to be really careful, because if it really just all of a sudden starts to liquefy. So I find that I just really want to mix it up and then really, really slowly just continue to pour in. So we put in not even a full tablespoon yet. So you can see that it started to liquefy a little bit. And I'm going to keep going. Now we can always add a little milk. So do you see how liquidy that has already gotten? And I haven't even put in the rest of do you see that? So this is like one side of the bowl that's getting liquidy. And now I'm going to start incorporating the other side of the bowl here, which is going to thicken it up right again. So it's kind of balling up right now. And now I've got, let's see, what do I have here? I've got about 3/4 of a tablespoon here that I'm just going to very evenly and very little by little, because I don't want to over liquefy it. And that happens so much faster than you think. You think it needs a lot of liquid, so you start really going for it, and then before you know it, the glaze is just way too thin. So look at this. This is making a nice glaze right now, and yet we still have some milk left over, so we're just going to dig in. I don't think I'm going to put in the full 1/2 tablespoon, which is looks like we've got a little more than 1/2 tablespoon. So I'm just going to put just maybe a teaspoon. Starting to scare me a little bit. I don't want it to get too thin. And it might be the perfect recipe, which said 2 tablespoons. And I will tell you, I think that the rest of this will make it absolutely perfect, which is a half. Let's see. Oh, I think I'm going to try it out on one of these scones and see. So I put just, there we go. I think that's a perfect consistency. So that's it. These have been cooling for about, let's see what time it is now, for about 15 minutes. I took them out of the oven about 10 minutes before showtime. And speaking of showtime, I just want to remind all of you, hey Marcy, I just want to remind all of you I will not be here tomorrow, and I may not be here on Thursday. The may not be is because I got called to jury duty. So I had to move my Thursday Channel 8 show, I think I told you guys this last week, to Wednesday. I will be doing Channel 8 tomorrow, so you guys at 3 p.m. are going to have to log into 8 News Now and watch the show streaming live on their 8newsnow.com. And then Thursday, if I get out of jury duty or if I don't get called to jury duty, then I will be here, of course, but I have no way of knowing. At 5 o'clock when you dial in to see if you're getting called, of course, I may know at 5 o'clock. And if I know I'm not going, I will post in the group that I'm making it on Thursday. But if I get called in, I will have to go, right? So, okay, so we've got these beautiful scones, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this glaze on. I'm wondering if I add, well, I think I'm not going to add. So let me just take this whisk out, and I'm going to just spoon a little bit of this just white glaze on here, kind of wipe it around, because the picture of the Starbucks pumpkin scone shows this white glaze kind of being all over the top, very smooth and very evenly done. So I know Harmony, when I told her this morning I was making pumpkin scones, was very excited because she loves pumpkin scones on the month of her birthday. So I actually think that that looks fantastic. It's very even. It's rather thick, which I like. And then when we do the spice glaze that we drizzle over the top, more drizzle than pour and smooth, it's really going to show up nicely and beautifully. So that's, I think, what makes these scones such a winner, is that the second glaze that we put on top is a spiced glaze. So here we go. And we'll let this harden a minute. Blowing on it like it's hot. Hey Teresa, so good to have you here. Nice to see you. So as soon as this show is over, I'm going upstairs and I'm going to connect everybody who won the 3 weeks, 3 per week, who won our Zoom class together. And I'm going to connect us all via the Zoom, or not the Zoom, but the Facebook Messenger. And we can all start a chat about dates that feel good to everybody, about what we'd like to do, what we, whether we just want to chat when we get on, or if we want to cook, or, exactly what everybody feels is the best thing. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to having all of you join me for that. So there we go. All of this is now glazed. I'll hold on to these as I tip it. Maybe I should tip the phone. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Makes me want to have a bite. Okay. And now we're going to start all over again. And we are going to start with another 1 cup of powdered sugar. And by the way, Roseanne, if you're listening, if you're here, not sure if you are, I looked on the powdered sugar box to see when that expired, and there is no expiration date on powdered sugar. So be interested to know if anybody knows anything about after my experience yesterday of buying flour that was quite aged. So I was thinking, I wonder how powdered sugar does. So I'm just going to finish this half of a tablespoon of milk into the powdered sugar that I reserved when making the other glaze. I think that glaze turned out absolutely perfect. And I'm just going to start very slowly pouring this in and getting it the right consistency. Here we go. And actually, because I had glaze left over, I'm thinking that I could have actually put the spices in that and then used this, because this is for the full recipe and there's still so much glaze left over. I could have just seasoned this glaze and drizzled it over, but I had already pulled this out for all of you to watch, so we'll just continue to forge ahead with it. A little bit more milk. So any questions out of anybody? Anybody love pumpkin scones as much as we all do? And I think what's so great, hey Lisa, what is so great about the fact that this smells so heavenly is that we are using the pumpkin puree that we made homemade from scratch. So that is a game changer. I just have to say that is a huge game changer. Okay. So this also came the perfect consistency. It's a little lumpier because I went just a little bit faster. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. So this is done. You've never tried one. Teresa, you're going to love it, especially if you make your own pumpkin puree. It's so fabulous. Pumpkin puree lasts in your freezer for 2 months and in your refrigerator for 2 weeks. So get your pie pumpkins now. Hey, Mark Goldberg, because by November 2nd, all the pumpkins are off the grocer's shelves. It's so frustrating to me. I just can't handle it. It's like, do you not think that pumpkins are more than Halloween and jack-o'-lanterns? They're just so much more than that. Okay, so 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And there we go. 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. We've got 1/4 teaspoon or a pinch of ginger, I think it was. Yep. No, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger. There we go. Ground ginger. Pinch of nutmeg is where the pinch came in. So I will pinch nutmeg. And speaking of which, I just want to tell you I've looked for years for whole nutmeg to be able to ground. And I could never find it because I was looking in the produce section for nutmeg, but lo and behold, here is actual nutmeg. So if you're looking for fresh nutmeg, which I really think I'd like to try right now, let's see if we can just do a pinch of ground nutmeg. And let's see how it feels like a nut. It is really interesting. I've actually never seen a whole nutmeg before. Has anybody? Anybody? It looks like a little tiny walnut is what it looks like. It's hard to imagine that ancient humans could figure out that this was a spice and not a nut. Okay, so let's grab our microplane and let's just do, well, there we go. Oh my gosh. And that is a pinch. I love that. I absolutely love it. I know, never me either. But, oh my gosh. Oh, my golly gee. Okay, and look inside how that looks. That's the piece that I grated. So, oh my gosh. Just makes me fall in love with life when I just realize how much abundance and how intelligent the earth is and how intelligent our ancient ancestors were that they could figure all this out. Honestly, okay. So let's see, ground cloves. We've got 1/4 teaspoon. Here we go. I get so excited by this stuff. I really do. Okay. Because I didn't know any of these spices growing up ever came out of anything but a bottle. I could never imagine that they came from the earth. I could never imagine that somebody actually picked them or planted them or grew them. I never knew. I just thought it was something you got at Panorama Market. How long has it been since you've heard that word, Lisa Youngdahl? Okay, cinnamon in, cloves in, ginger in, pinch of nutmeg, 2 tablespoons of milk in, and we are going to mix this up. So when we were growing up in Las Vegas, there was one market on the west side of town, just one. It was called Panorama Market here in Las Vegas. And on the east side of town, there was a market called Market Town. And that's where everybody came and shopped. And so that's why I threw out the word panorama. And then after that, I can't remember what finally came. Wow, I don't really remember. So look at how really lovely this is. You see the color of this compared to the color of the white. Oh my goodgee. There we go. See how white, and then this is dark. So what we're going to do, I'm going to grab just a little teaspoon. I feel like this is not thick enough. So I'm just going to add a little bit, well, I don't know, let's try one. If it doesn't turn out well, oh, Mayfair Market, there you go, which was on Sahara and Maryland Parkway. Mayfair, right? All right, here we go. We are just a trip down Las Vegas Historic Lane, I'm telling you. Okay, well, you have to be here in the early 50s to know about the only two markets in town. People used to have to come up from Boulder City and Henderson to shop at Market Town. Okay, so we're just going to kind of drizzle across. Oh my golly, look at that. Oh boy, I'm telling you. And that's what makes this so beautiful. So if you look at that, can you see that? Can you see the different colors? There you go. That went across. Oh, it's so beautiful. I really do think this isn't dark enough though. And for the light taste that we're going to get, of just a little bit of a taste, I want to add just a little bit more cinnamon to it, maybe a half teaspoon, in order to make this just a little bit darker, because it just kind of looks blonde rather than dark. Hey, Verica, nice to see you. We are making pumpkin scones, and we're just finishing up with this darker glaze. So we've got two glazes, just a plain sugar glaze, confectioner sugar glaze, and now we have this spice glaze that is just a little bit darker now. Okay, let's try this. Picture shows it as being a little bit darker, but let's see. Okay, ready? So this is my favorite scone right here. This is the one that I would choose if I had to share, or someone cut and somebody chose. I would be choosing this one because I like the shape of it. There we go. Does that look better? It does, doesn't it? And now on the final scone, so I left the other 5 frozen, and that was the other thing I wanted to tell you. So I took these out of the freezer. They defrosted in about an hour, and then I stuck them in the oven at 400 degrees for 12 and a half minutes is what it took at 400 degrees. I bought an oven thermometer today, because with baking you have to be so much more precise, and I found that my oven is out of calibration by 25 degrees. So when it says 400, it was only 375. When it said 425, it was 400. So now I know that. Now I got to test the upper oven. So there we go, everybody. Should I get a beautiful plate and set it on there? It looks so pretty, doesn't it? But not so pretty on the baking dish. So let's stand by here. Okay, grabbing one of my beautiful plates. Yum. Let's see how fast these hang out in Nanny Bubby land. I bet not for very long. So let me get just a nice little, I'm going to use a fish spatula, because the fish spatula will get underneath them. Here we go. Oh, those are gorgeous. Go. Absolutely beautiful. So I feel like something green needs to be in the middle to kind of add color to this plate. I think I might take just a little bit of the glaze and maybe just kind of go over the side of the plate just to dress it up. There we go. And I don't know what we might put in the middle to kind of dress up the plate and make it look a little more appetizing, but maybe a pumpkin itself, huh? That might look gorgeous. So that's it. It is gorgeous, and it smells amazing. So I posted the recipe in Gather with Nanny Bubby. So make sure you go into Gather with Nanny Bubby and take a look at it. A mini pumpkin, yes. Stand by. Stand by. I'm doing that, Teresa. Doing that right now. A little mini pumpkin. Let's see. Here we go. Stand by. which one? This is too big, right? And this one is, I feel like Mama Bear and Papa Bear here. So we're going to put this right in the middle. How's that? Yay! Hand clapping. We did it. Yay! Okay. Yay. Okay, I will post a picture. I did post the recipe. Thank you, guys. I did post the recipe. It's off of Pinterest. And I posted that in Gather with Nanny Bubby last night. For those of you who won the contest, I'm going to go upstairs right now and connect us all via Facebook Messenger so we can all start a chat and start giving our opinions about when we'd like to do the Zoom class together. I will not be here tomorrow, but you can find me on streaming at 8newsnow.com. I will not be here Thursday because I have jury duty, but if I don't, I will be here, so you'll have to wait to hear about that. And anybody who's watching that wants to book a cooking confidence coaching discovery call with me, free call, the calendar, the link to my calendar to book an appointment is right there. So that's it for today. I'm going to enjoy these mini pumpkins and pumpkin scones with my family and maybe take them over to my daughter, who I think really appreciates the fact that I did this. I know her kids will love it as well. So that's the best part about being Nanny Bubby, which, by the way, I should have. Let me do it now. I mean, it's better late than never, right, guys? There we go. Nanny Bubby. Good old Facebook. Never switch that back, and I can never go in before we go live to switch the logo, which really drives me crazy. So Verica says, spread love like butter. That's right. Okay. Now I can't get rid of it. So anyway, on the count of three, thank you so much, Verica. 1, 2, 3. Let's go out and spread love like butter. Bye, everybody.